And good morning, Savannah and the Low Country, and welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, the first show of 2023. Hey, Happy New Year. Hopefully your holiday season was good. I'm back out here on the Soundgarden Stage. A little warmer than last time. Last time I was out here, it was 21 degrees. Now we're up to 41 degrees. Let me get the exact degrees here, and it's 46 degrees right now. So it's a lot warmer, even though I'm dressed like it was 21 degrees. Don't have to wear a hat. Don't have my gloves on. I'm back here in the saddle again. Happy New Year. Once again, last week was an instant replay of the Christmas Eve show. You know, family things go on during the holidays. But I'm glad to be back, and it's all part, as you can see right behind me, the Coach's Corner Sports Network. That's right, Coach's Corner right here on Victory Drive in Thunderbolt. Got to thank John Henderson for letting me do this every Saturday morning, whether it's recorded or live. It's usually live 99% of the time, but you know, sometimes family things come up, and I'm glad to be back here. I'm glad you're watching. You know what? You can give me a comment in the comments page right here. Let me post one up there for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Good morning, Savannah. Okay. Let's see if I can get that to come up right here on the, here we go. There we go. Give me a comment. Make a comment. What do you think about Georgia National Championship? That's right. Got another great show lined up. All right. This is all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. So there are 5 shows. Okay. Wednesday nights, we got Rubbin' and Grubbin' with Brandon Bain, the Atlanta man, produced by the man himself, Lawrence Bennett, who's always behind the scenes telling me that my mic's not on, that something went wrong, or the screen goes off behind me. So I'm a one-man show on Saturday mornings, so it's a lot of fun. But like I said, 5 shows. I'm here every Saturday morning, 9 to 10, 10:30. I know Lawrence loves it when it goes 9 to 11. The producer likes 2-hour shows. And then coming April, not far off, so February, March, April, about 2.5 months, okay, we got the National, the Masters at you know, the Augusta National Golf Course, and the Herb Brothers will be doing their weekly show, the 19th hole, 5 straight days of covering the Masters, and they're both golf fanatics. Brett and Sean Herb do a great job. Check it out, the 19th hole on YouTube. You'll see what I'm talking about. 2 podcasts. Right now, one's dormant, the Who's on First Base baseball podcast with the coach and Kyle Lawson, the baseball fanatic. We'll start up probably in February or March. I don't know. March is going to be tough for this young man. He's getting married. Not me, Kyle Lawson. So we'll see what happens with that. Like I told you, there it goes. I can't get it to stop shutting off, but I'll work it out. And then, of course, the Hot Grids podcast with Travis Jadon, the Connect Savannah beat writer, now sports writer, the Prep Sports Report freelance writer, helps you out a lot. Travis Jadon, check it out. Hot Grids podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and you can go from there. All right, great lineup today. We got a substitute coming in about 9:15. I thought he had to coach his son's basketball game, but he can fit it in here at 9:15. We'll be talking to Stephen Elmo Weeks with the Weeks picks. 9:15, first quarter. Second quarter, we'll talk to Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. We'll talk to Kaden Tuten. Just signed a national letter of intent to attend Brevard College to play some baseball. Kaden Tuten at a Benedictine military school. So it's not just all about football signings over there. All right. And then we got 2 pre-recorded segments. One, because she's out in LA or San Diego, we got the sports director, WJCL sports director, Amy Zimmer, a year on the job. She's going to talk about the Natty, the national championship. She's out in San Diego hanging out with the big guy, Frank Selkowski. WJCL will bring you what's up and running out there in San Diego. And then at about 10 o'clock, we're going to talk high school basketball with no other than the guru himself, Kyle Sandy. But at 10 o'clock, he's up there in Atlanta somewhere at a basketball tournament. So we pre-recorded it yesterday. And then, of course, the last segment, 3 steps out the door. I'll take 3 videos that I've watched that or I've gotten from social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we'll break it down. And then, of course, I'll end with Karl's Corner, my editorial about something that's going on in the world of sports. Hey, this is great. The sun's beating on my face right here. It's nice and warm. Even though it's 46 degrees, it's just great to be here. All right, so let's get going. Elmo Weeks will be here in about 8 minutes. Once again, like I said, I wasn't on last week, so I helped put together the Prep Sports Report 2022 Top 10 Moments from a Memorable Year. Hey, got it started off with Benedictine back-to-back state football championships. Danny Britt doing a great job. Great goal line stand. Great athletes over there. Number one, my memorable moment from last year, Benedictine back-to-back football champions. Number two, St. Andrews boys basketball, winning the championship last March. The Georgia Independent Athletic Association. They're off to they're on a 26-game winning streak. They're off to 12-0 this season. They're down in Florida playing the MLK shootout at Andrew Jackson High School in Florida. What can I tell you? Last night they beat Rains. Just a great job. Number two, St. Andrew boys winning a state championship, the Georgia Independent Athletic Association championship. All right. That's the first time they won, I think, since 2004. All right. The Savannah Arts Academy, number three, girls cross country team, taking a state title. All right. The Savannah Arts Academy girls country captured their first ever Georgia High School State Association Class AA cross country. Remember, last year, 2021, they were the runner-up. So way to go, Lady Panthers cross country team. That's number three. Number four, Savannah Christian's ladies golf team, the Lady Raiders. Okay. Savannah Christian won the Georgia High School State Association Class A State Golf Championship back in May. Great job. Mary Miller just verbally committed to go to Georgia Southern. Great program over there. Number five, I got to go with the Havisham varsity girls tennis team. Did not lose a match all year, 19-0. Yes, I know they won the Georgia Athletic Private and Parochial Schools Association state title, but they brought home a state title to the 912, to the Seaport. And then we go right back, number six, the Havisham boys and girls cross country team both won the state cross country championship in October. Just a great little school over there, the Havisham school. All right, number seven, Savannah Christian. You wouldn't believe it, competitive cheerleading team. What a great job. Okay, they were runner-up last year. They come back and win it this year. Great job. I got to go number eight with the Forest City Gun Club Juniors claiming their fourth state title in the Scholastic Clay program title and their third straight national championship. So four state, three national titles for the Forest City Junior Gun Club. Great clay sports shooting team. Great story right there. Number nine, Savannah Country Day. Their clay sporting team won the Georgia Athletic, the Georgia Independent Athletic Association championship this year. Okay, they were only in their fourth season. All right. They beat out Savannah Christian. They beat out Benedictine. What a great story. The Hornets clay sporting team was number nine. I had two tied for number 10. These two young ladies have done a great job. Okay, first we got to go with Maggie Bird out of Savannah Christian, back-to-back state titles in the high jump. Okay, back-to-back. And then we got to go with Margaret Wade, who won the 3,200 meter race in the Georgia High School State Association Championship in May. Then she comes back in the beginning of November, wins the state cross country championship. So those two girls were my number 10. So once again, we got a lot going on. Stephen Elmo Weeks coming on at 9:15. I got plenty more sports information I'll catch up to when we come back, or when I find time at the end, maybe in 10 o'clock, I'll recap it all. But I want to keep on time. And I got Stephen Elmo Weeks waiting in the wings because, he's got to coach a little basketball. But anyway, quickly, here we go. We got people punching in here, okay? Chad Griffin, the coach and the AD. Good morning, Coach. Hope all's well up there in the ATL. Now one of the administrators at Hebron Christian. Coach of the AD went for a good run for almost 2 years, and Chad, switched jobs, moved up to the ATL. Happy holidays, sir. And once again, always miss you, Coach. Coach Chad Griffin. And, of course, the man that's a fixture, always tuning in, Dennis Kessler. Good morning, Coach. I'm here. Best show to watch on a Saturday morning. Hey, I know last week I took off. I missed you guys, too. And go Eagles. Nah, I'm going to go G-Men. Okay? Sorry. New York and Philadelphia. But anyway, Dennis, I appreciate you tuning in every week. All right, up now in 3 minutes, we're going to wrap it up with the man that's been making college football picks all year long. He went into the bowl season 28-22. He didn't do bad. He got 5 out of 11 right. He finished the seasons 33-28, above 500. How many sports prognosticators can say they're over 500? But that's of course Stephen Elmo Weeks with Elmo Weeks' picks in 3 minutes. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Then after that, don't forget the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete with Kaden Tuten. All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia. because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dining service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision. Faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And good morning, Savannah. Glad that you can watch my show every Saturday morning on the internets, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We're here, and it's Karl DeMasi Sports Report, all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Don't forget, big game Monday night, 7:30. There's over 100 TVs here at Coach's Corner. There's 9 75-inch TVs right behind me that'll have the big game. Come enjoy it. Come out with friends. Wings, the best wings in town, pizza, burgers, and, of course, adult beverages, and soda for the kids, and water, of course. But come out here and enjoy it at Coach's Corner. John Henderson will be have a big party going on. And talk about picking football games. Pretty impressive. Going into the bowl season, this young man, he's still young, okay, was 28-22. So out of 40 games, over 500. He picked 11 games Christmas Eve, December 24th. He went 5-6. Not too bad. To finish his season, 33-28. He could get one more win if he wants to talk about picking the Georgia TCU National Championship game. But he joins me every week on the Coach's Corner Hot Seat. And that's, of course, the football college prognosticator, Stephen Elmo Weeks. And he's got a special guest with him. What's up, Stephen? Who's the guest?
This is Hugh Weeks, and today is his 7th birthday. So happy birthday, Hugh.
Happy birthday, Hugh. How's it going?
It's good.
You getting ready for your big basketball game in about 45 minutes?
Yeah, his game's later today, but yeah. All right, you want to go see your – okay. Yeah.
But anyway.
He plays at 3:30, but Jack actually
Jack has the game at 10 o'clock. Okay.
Well, I would tell you Jack is playing the middle school game of the week. Blessed Sacrament's 8th grade basketball. Blessed Sacrament's 8th grade boys basketball team is 8-0.
Nice.
We've beaten everybody by double digits. Calvary is also 6 or 7-0. They've beaten everybody by double digits, except for they lost. They won a close game against Savannah Christian. But man, Calvary has some of the absolute best athletes in Savannah in their 8th grade class. Jalen Hicks, MJ Scott, AJ Rahal. They are absolutely loaded. Those are all kids. I would say they've got 3 or 4 kids in their 8th grade class that are going to play some form of college athletics. So it's going to be it should be a barn burner on Victory Drive, Carl. I hope it is anyway. I hope they don't run us out the gym.
Hey, I miss those days, those middle school days, coaching middle school basketball with my kids. I know what you're going through. And, my fame to claim, I've never won a state championship, but I got 3 Spout championships and a Skeeza JV championship. So I'm happy with that. I'll take that, even though I got no bling like my kids to show you. But
we've got one. Jack has 1 Spout championship. We won the basketball championship in 6th grade.
Nice.
And then we're hoping we can do it again this year. But boy, Calvary's good, man. They've got a bunch of good players and coaches, and Calvary's got a good athletic program right now, and so we'll see how we stand up to the test. 12 o'clock over at Blessed Sacrament.
All right. In behind the scenes, he finally got it this morning. But good morning, Lawrence Bennett. Glad you could join us. And I know you're going to make your pick once Stephen, if he does, wants to break down to Georgia and give us a pick. But we'll come back to you in a couple minutes, Mr. Bennett. But anyway, hey, not bad. You got 5 out of 11 right. You were close on 1, 2, 3 of the other games.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you what I did. I overvalued the Southeastern Conference. The SEC performed like garbage in the bowl season, except for Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, LSU, nice wins. But when you're talking about Florida getting blown out by Oregon State, Kentucky gets shut out by Iowa. Overall, this season was, to me, just one of the worst seasons ever for football in the SEC. I have never seen such bad teams play in the Southeastern Conference. I mean, you're talking about just some god-awful football was played in the Southeastern Conference. And, every year we have this thing about bias. And, the SEC, it just means more. Well, if it means all that much, how about do better than 6-6? I was disappointed with the SEC all season. I thought it was other than Georgia, Alabama, LSU was a nice surprise. Although even LSU, I know Florida State's pretty good, but I mean, you lose to Florida State at the beginning of the season. You got blown out at home by Tennessee. I'm not even sure how good LSU was. LSU got a bowl win over a team that didn't have anybody, come to the bowl game. So yeah, I think overall the problem I had was I overvalued the SEC. I just defaulted to SEC's good, and honestly, they just weren't that good. I think the overall SEC record in the bowl games was like 6-5 or 7-6 or something. It's just, if the SEC wants to continue claiming, oh, this is the best conference in football, you got to do better than that. You can't get blown out by Oregon State. I don't care how good of a season Oregon State's having. Florida cannot get blown out by Oregon State. Now, if I'm a Florida fan, I'm already uneasy about Billy Napier. That was not a good team. They were not a good team this year.
I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, I didn't expect that, but I didn't also expect you left out one SC team. They got the hobnail boots many years ago with Larry Munson in Georgia, but Tennessee rolling over Clemson, man. I even though Clemson, if you look at the box score, had more yardage, but they couldn't put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, honestly, I thought Clemson outplayed. I thought Clemson played better than Tennessee in that game. They missed a bunch of field goals, maybe 4, something like that.
Yes, 4.
I will say, though, Tennessee probably had the best backup quarterback in the country. Joe Milton, who I'd kind of forgotten about, was just played an outstanding football game. But I thought Clemson played better than Tennessee. They just, with a quarterback who was maybe inexperienced and just made some really conservative play calls. If I'm Clemson, I'm a little worried about Dabo Swinney too. It looks like, all those championships and all those things happened when he had Brent Venables and Tony Elliott as his coordinators. Now, I don't know. They're not like, I don't think anybody's scared to play Clemson right now, right? I mean, South Carolina beat them. They didn't, I thought they'd be a little better because I thought Cade Klubnik was just that much better than DJ. And they didn't play badly. Klubnik didn't play badly, and the defense was fine. They just gave up one too many big plays and missed. I want to say they missed 4 field goals. I think they were all like in the 40-yard range. I don't think it was like trying to kick 55-yarders. So tough loss for Clemson, man. I really felt pretty confident that Clemson would play well.
All right, we got an avid listener that loves listening to Coach Weeks. Dennis Testa. Good morning, Coach Weeks. Happy New Year. Good luck, but he's got to go with it where his heart's at. And this guy is all purple and gold. He's saying go Cavs. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. You gotta support. You gotta support your school and stuff. So they've got a lot to be supportive of over there. The high school basketball team is good. The boys team, the football team obviously had a great season, and this 8th grade class coming in. I don't know if they'll all stay at Calvary. Obviously, you don't know what people are going to do, but if this group all stays at Calvary, they're going to be stacked for a while. It's a lot of really good athletes, nice kids, good families. So yeah, it's we got a big challenge at 12 o'clock. We're gonna have to be ready to go.
We got another avid listener, Brandon Bain of our Rubbin' and Grubbin show, Go Dogs. He'll throw his probably his pick on there later too. But all right, let's get to it.
All right.
Nobody expected TCU to be here. Michigan just, what the bet if you ask me. They just didn't. I don't know, those big plays they gave up. It just seems like the defense didn't show up. TCU Georgia, I think it's going to be a good one. I mean, even though Georgia's coming in, you're the football prognosticator here. What are they up there? They got a 13.5 point spread right now.
Down a little bit. It's 12.5 now, but
12.5 now.
Yeah, it'll go down. I think it'll probably settle around 11, maybe 10.5. But I thought Michigan honestly played better. Again, this is another weird situation. It's a game, and the scoreboard says what it says. But boy, TCU had to have a lot go right to win the game. Specifically, the one thing I think that Michigan is going to look back on is I don't know what the purpose of having replay review is if you're going to get it wrong after watching it 30 times. Clearly, that kid scored. There was a bomb in the first half. That was a touchdown. There's no question about it. It's not close. How you put the ball on the one. Now, again, Michigan then turns around and fumbles the football. Okay, that's on Michigan. But that's a touchdown. That's just remarkable mistake made by the officiating crew or the replay people or whatever. But then also, Max Duggan probably played statistically the worst game of his season. He was throwing the ball out of bounds half the time, but when he did complete it, he completed it to Quentin Johnson, who's really, really, really good. I wasn't, there's a lot of TCU love out there right now. I wasn't really in love with TCU. They did a good job of stopping the run, which made Michigan throw the ball, and that's not really what they do. And so they threw 2 pick sixes. So McCarthy throws 2 pick sixes. Well, if you take away the 2 pick sixes, and you take away the fumble on the goal line, and then you take away the very first series of the game, Michigan kind of sort of would have blown TCU out. So I wasn't like, I don't know. I'm not on that train. And I know people are saying, oh, you're undervaluing them because they're in the Big 12. No, I thought the Big 12 was actually the best conference in the United States. I thought from top to bottom, the Big 12 was the best football conference in the United States. The most good teams from top to bottom. And they're legitimately where they're supposed to be. I still think if you play the Michigan TCU game 10 times, Michigan wins 8, right? So
I mean, I definitely agree with you on that touchdown. I mean, nobody touched the kid. The kid
Unreal.
goes the ball over the goal line. Well,
Ridiculous.
you know, like you said, Michigan didn't take care of the ball. The next play, they fumble it. But anyway, and the two pick
and
sixes.
give credit, you know, TCU did a good job of creating turnovers. That's part of football. You know, that coaches coach that. You know that. And they did a good job of of taking advantage, being opportunistic, you know, forcing Michigan to make mistakes. Michigan's coaching staff, the entire coaching staff should probably have their pay docked or something. Michigan's coaching staff did not have those kids ready to go. They clearly appeared to take TCU for granted. So I'll go ahead and say this. And, you know, I think people are going to be in love with TCU. It's going to be a close game. TCU is the Cinderella story and all this. I think Georgia's going to blow the doors off of TCU. I mean, if you look at it from top to bottom, I think Georgia's just so much more talented than TCU. I hope this doesn't come back to bite me, but I would take Georgia and I would lay those 12 points or 11 points or whatever it is. I see it being one of those games that's like maybe close going into halftime. Maybe Georgia scores late and it's like 24-17 at halftime, and then it ends up like 42-24 or something like that. I just don't think TCU – and again, it's not because I don't like TCU. They've had a great season. They've done incredible things. They pulled rabbits out of hats all season in a very, very good conference. That's the Big 12 is, in my opinion, far better than the SEC this year. So it's a feather in their cap. They won the best conference. But I mean, they got down by 21 to Kansas State at home. They almost lost to Iowa State up in Ames. I mean, all these little weird things happened all season. I don't think you can do any of that against Georgia. Georgia gives you very little room for error. Frankly, I don't even know that Georgia should be there. Right. I think Ohio State was the better team for 3 quarters, 14 minutes, and 57 seconds. Right. Yep. Basically, as long as it was 2022, Ohio State was the better team. As soon as it hit 23, that thing sails wide left and Georgia wins. But I don't think Georgia's going to perform like that. I think they're going to be. I loved what Kirby Smart said after the game. You know, everybody's excited, and he's like, "No, Stetson Bennett played terrible. He's going to have to play better. Our whole team's got to play better. We're not good enough." I
agree with him.
He's right. that wasn't good enough. But I think this week is, in some ways, I don't think we've seen Georgia play its best game yet. I kind of think we might see Georgia play its best game, like bookends. Maybe the best game that Georgia played all season was the very first game of the season against Oregon. That was pretty much a perfect game. I kind of feel like you're going to see that level of performance out of Georgia. And if Georgia does that, I just don't think TCU has any chance at all. I mean, it won't be close for long.
All right, so your final pick of the 2022 college football season is Georgia giving the 12.5 or whatever the points.
I don't know what it is. It's right. It started off at 13.5. It came down pretty quickly to 12.5. It might have jumped back up to 13 for a minute. I feel like by the time the Monday gets here, I think it'll probably settle at like 11, maybe 10.5 or something like that. But yeah, I'd lay double digits and wouldn't have a problem with it. I think. And, I was pretty confident about Michigan too. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just totally undervaluing TCU and they have all this magic and all this stuff. But in all honesty, magic doesn't win football games. The dudes on the offensive and defensive lines do. Georgia's offensive line should stand up to TCU. Kenny McIntosh and those guys should be able to run the ball. And on the flip side of that, the defensive line, Michigan was all over Duggan all day. Yep. He finds a way to like sidearm fling the ball kind of, literally like that way. And then the Johnson kid runs as fast as he can and barely catches it and runs for 76 yards for a touchdown. I'm going to get called a homer. Everybody's going to say, "Oh, look at that Georgia guy." I don't think Georgia lets that happen. I don't. I think the two best teams actually oddly played in the Peach Bowl. I think Georgia and Ohio State looked to me like the two best teams. Even though Michigan beat up on Ohio State, I don't know what happened to Ohio State that day. That's weird. I cannot believe that team perform the way they did against Michigan. I don't see any reason for it. CJ Stroud is, I don't know. All I can tell you is this: if the Falcons are picking early, I hope that the Falcons will be smart enough to pick CJ Stroud. That guy looks like an absolute star.
Well, you heard it right here. The Stephen Elmo Weeks final pick of the season, Georgia, and give the points. All right, I know you got to run. I got the other guests waiting in the back, room, in the back green room, whatever you want to call it. But good luck today with your basketball games, and keep me on top of what happens.
Yep. Hey, listen, I've told everyone I'm going to go ahead and put out my top 10. I'm going to put one out tomorrow before the championship game is played, and then put one out Tuesday after the championship game is played. So I'm gonna people have actually been asking me to do that. So my Facebook page is Stephen Elmo Weeks on Facebook. If you want to look at it, tomorrow I'll sit down and put out a post-bowl top 10 list, which everyone will disagree with. Although I'm a toot my own horn a minute, Carl. I got a lot of things right that people said I was crazy about. A lot of teams won bowl games. Tulane beat Southern California. I had Tulane in the top 10. I had Tulane ranked 7th.
Right.
People told me I'm crazy. Tulane can't be 7th. They beat Southern California, right? So I'll do another ranking, and so people can poke fun of me tomorrow.
All right, quickly. I told you they'd jump in here quick. All right, our man Lawrence Bennett has got Georgia 48, TCU 14, and our man Brandon Bain is agreed 42-24 Dogs over the Frogs. 6 days.
Yeah, I like this Brandon Baines pick 42-24. I think it'll be close for a bit, and then Georgia will pull away late and like 40. In fact, I would go so far as to say 42-24 could be the actual final score. Like that feels like 38-17, 42-24, or something like that. But it'll all the emotions and all the stuff. The first quarter will look like it's going to be a close game, and then it'll just start kind of inching. TCU will start going 3 and out. Maybe Duggan throws a pick, block a punt, something crazy. But yeah, like 42-24. That makes sense.
All right, good luck today. Let me know what happens, and we'll catch up next week with your final thoughts of this 2022 football season.
You got it. Go Irish.
Go Irish, as always. Whoops. Sorry, Kaden. I jumped too early. I hit the wrong switch. But anyway, okay, there you got it. Stephen Elmo Weeks, his Weeks picks every Saturday morning here on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Go with the Dogs. Give the points. 48, he agrees with Brandon Bain, the Atlanta man, the NASCAR guru himself. He also baseball and football. And our weekly Wednesday night show with Rubbin' and Grubbin, he says 42-24. His producer says 48-14. And Brandon Bain, here's the response, Mr. Bennett. Damn, Lawrence Bennett. So we'll go with that. All right, my next guest has been waiting patiently. I want to get him on. I got 3 minutes to thank my sponsors. He had an unbelievable junior season. He's going into his senior year at Benedictine baseball. Big playoff game last year. Big win. Came out of in relief and did a job. But he signed Wednesday to play baseball at Brevard College. We'll find out why Kaden Tuten is this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week and why he chose Brevard. 3 minutes, Kaden. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. It's part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network.
All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dine-in service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision. Faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, it comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. Come cut and get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And good morning, Savannah and the Low Country. Welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Heard every Saturday morning on the internets, whether you get it on Facebook at the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, Coach's Corner Facebook page, Prep Sports Report Facebook page, on YouTube at the Karl DeMasi Sports Report channel, and of course on Twitter at KD Sports Report. And this is what it's all about. This is why I started doing this many, many years ago, is trying to get the good kids more publicity. Yes, the local media does a great job. WJCL, WSAV, WTOC, Dennis Knight, Savannah Morning News. I just wanted to get a little more out there, and that's why the Prep Sports Report happened. And from the Prep Sports Report, we had the Karl DeMasi Sports Report on the radio. Now there's no radio. It's just on the internet. But this is what it's all about. And the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. Dr. Bart Wetherington has sponsored this since day one that I started on the radio in 2010. He's been a loyal supporter since 2010. I got to appreciate it. I think probably this young man played a little baseball against his son, but I know baseball community here is really tight in Savannah, Georgia. I mean, he just signed to play at Brevard College, national letter of intent Wednesday at Benedictine Military School. All right, and that's, of course, rising senior. Well, he is a senior. He's not rising now. He is a senior. This is his last season at Benedictine, and that's Kaden Tuten. I mean, last spring, Benedictine making another big run in the baseball playoffs. He comes in and picks up a save, 2 1/3 strong innings in a state quarterfinal over Troup County. On the season, he was 2-1 with a 3.74 ERA on the mound. Very, very good summer season with his traveling baseball team, because Perfect Game chose him as a preseason person or a player to watch. I mean, and as Coach Farmer said, I mean, Kaden is a versatile player who can play in the outfield, can play in the infield, and of course, come in and pitch for the cadets. He said he's a hard worker. He's a student of the game, always learning. I know because he's been probably following his dad for a long time and his mom. Okay, Brian and Diana Tuten, congratulations. Of course, don't forget, he's the grandson of one of the best sports reporters that ever are here on TV, Rick Snow. So, and Shelly Snow, his grandma, I can't leave her out, the family, his brother and sister, that's just done a great job. He's also an A student in the classroom. He's taken pre-med line stuff. I mean, what can I tell you, this kid? The kid is definitely worthy of the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete. Joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat. He's been waiting patiently. He's been in the back room early. And that's, of course, senior from Benedictine Military School, baseball player, going to be a tornado at Brevard College, Kaden Tuten. What's up, Kaden?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm going back to the days when I used to watch you crawl, buddy.
Yes, sir.
So, but I mean, unbelievable. Congratulations on your season last year, your summer seasons, your traveling ball seasons. It really does definitely pay off. And once again, you got to go play some college baseball. You got to be excited about that.
Yes, sir.
So tell us, Dad don't talk about it, but from what I understand, he used to be a star baseball player at Groves High School. And of course, your mother was a phenomenal athlete too. So when did the Tutens, the parents of you, throw you out on that baseball field? When did this all start?
It started very, very early, definitely from T-ball, even just as soon as I was born, watching my dad play men's league and watching my brother grow up playing. And I just fell in love with it and played it, T-ball, and then child pitching through.
Well, you've definitely grown in it, and you've gone to one of the best programs in the city at Benedictine, and of course, Coach Farmer, state championship at Calvary, comes back to his alma mater, 2 state championships. What is the baseball program? How does it help you become a better baseball player?
Coach Farmer does a great job. He's really experienced and he knows a lot because he gets a lot from other coaches. He studies the game, and just like all the other coaches at BC, they study from colleges and take stuff from high-performing places, and they bring it to us at BC, and that's what we learn.
All right, I'm playing. I'm playing the producer vaccines here. My computer's going wild, but Coach Farmer. I have my younger son play for Coach Farmer. I can agree you immensely with what he does with the baseball programs wherever he's been. And he ain't going to tell you, if you come over here to Coach's Corner, in the back of Coach's Corner, there's a picture of him with a World Championships Cal Ripken team when he was a very young guy. Wouldn't know. Yes. You wouldn't know it's him. So anyway, you played a lot of traveling baseball. Dad's been one of the best, from what I understand, one of the better youth baseball coaches. Tell us, what specific routine Kaden Tuten used to make himself a better baseball player?
The coaches at BC definitely helped with it too, but just the stretching routine we go through and the plyo ball routine that Coach Pasquale puts out for us, our pitching coach, he does an amazing job doing it. And the throwing program all throughout the fall gets us ready for what we need to do as a team. And for me, he does it personally. So I can't thank him enough. And he just does so much for me.
Now, Benedictine, the brotherhood, the players, the alumni coming back. Has there been a past or present player that has influenced your baseball career up to this point?
Yes, sir. Stevie Powers, who used to play at BC and played at Southern Miss. He's, even when I was younger, like growing up, I would watch him play. And now when I'm older, I've been working with him, and he's just helped me through all the way because he's been there, he's experienced it, so he can definitely help more, and he has, and it's been amazing. He's an amazing person.
Well, we can go way back to when he was playing football for the Cadets too, and I coined him the golden arm. He was the golden arm in football and the golden arm in baseball. He definitely knows the game, and I'm glad he's back at Benedictine helping you guys grow.
Yes,
just a great role model. Okay, all right. You had a great game last year in the playoff. Everybody found out who Kaden Tuten was with that 2.5, 2 1/3 pitching relief. But what has been the highlight of your career at Benedictine?
The highlight's just going out there with my teammates and my coaches every day. Just being able to be on that field with them is just the most rewarding experience. Even if it's not on the field, just at practice, just having fun with my coaches and teammates every day. It's just the most rewarding experience.
So you would say that's your proudest moment too, also, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell us about the experience of going to Benedictine, not just playing sports there.
The experience at BC, it's a brotherhood. I mean, everyone there, we're all brothers there. We all love each other. We all support each other. The support is immense there for everyone. And it's rewarding. In the classroom, the teachers are just so friendly, so kind, and so helping and willing to help you get to that next level.
Nice. And if you're just tuning in, you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report on the internet, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete. This way we bring on the good kids that have done something special or are being recognized for something they've just done. This young man, Kaden Tuten, just signed to a national letter of intent to play baseball at Brevard College. So they give you a position yet at Brevard College, or they're going to wait till you get up there?
Just wait till I get up there, but mainly it's just pitching right now.
All right. Well, Coach Farmer says you can do it all. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Could Dad do that in high school?
I don't think he pitched, but he played just about everywhere.
Yeah, I know he played every single position. I didn't know if he pitched either. Okay. All right. Why Brevard? I mean, we know it's up there in the mountains of North Carolina, Asheville. It's a beautiful campus. Why Brevard?
The coaches and the students there, it feels a lot like BC there. I've talked to a bunch of the kids that go there, a bunch of kids that play baseball there, and it's like a brotherhood there too. And it just felt like the right fit. The coaches are doing a great thing there. They're really developing the program good. And I think they'll help me grow not just as a player, but as a person.
Well, you got to feel that you fit in there, and that's that key. Which mom and dad, both educators. Even though we classify Brian Tuten as an athletic trainer, he's also an educator too.
Yes,
I had the privilege of working them at Groves many years ago, so it's something special. So your family, big part of your life. Let's talk about your family. What impact has they have had on your career? Your brother and sister too.
Yes, sir. They're everything. I mean, I wouldn't be here without them. They've supported me through the way, and I can't thank them enough because I wouldn't be here without them. Every time I get down on myself, they bring me right back up. And they do everything for me, support me. They're there every single second, and I just can't thank them enough.
And if someone's watching, you're the grandson of legendary Rick Snow and Shelley Snow. Tell us what your grandparents have done for your career, or been a supporter of your career.
They've also done everything. I mean, they're there pretty much every single game, and I don't know how they make it out there every time. But they're definitely a huge support system for me, and I can't thank them enough. I love having them out there. Especially
with Grandpa. I know he's going to shoot me when I'm saying Grandpa, but being up late at night doing all those sportcasts and making it to your game next day, it's pretty special. And I'm glad I got to watch you grow, and they'll probably follow you up to the mountains in Asheville, North Carolina.
Yes,
all right.
Sir.
You had a very, very good youth program that you played for, right?
Yes, sir.
And what were they called again?
Savannah Thunder.
Savannah Thunder. I called them Storm yet, but the same logo as the Brevard Tornadoes. Tell us about your playing youth baseball and the traveling baseball with that program.
Playing youth with them, I've grown up with those kids my whole life, and now most of them are at BC with me, so it's just carried over, and it's been great. And playing with my dad, he puts everyone at every position. He doesn't leave you at one position. So that versatility comes from that, and I thank him for that. And the brotherhood still with those kids is just great.
Friends you have for the rest of your life, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, let's go a little outside the box here. We all know athletes have superstitions and rituals. Any superstition rituals for you before baseball games or what you doing?
Yes, sir. So every day before the game, I definitely pray before I go out there. But me and one of my teammates, Miles Clemens, we fix each other's jerseys before each game. It started last year, and it's just stuck ever since.
Nice. I'll give you one that I'm the old guy now. I can tell this. Before I got to a baseball game, I would put my baseball pants on inside out, okay, and pull them up so my pants would have that perfect fold where back then we called them baseball stirrups or baseball socks.
Yes,
and
sir.
It was just something I had to do every game because it had to be perfect like your jersey.
Yes, sir.
So, and it's a trick to it because then your pants look good, you look good, you feel like you're going to play good, right?
Yes, sir.
Any favorite food?
Ooh, favorite food. Probably hibachi. I love Japanese. It's just
nice.
It's great.
Nice. Okay, so, your plans are to play baseball at the next level. Outside of baseball, and I just noticed, I read that from Dennis Knight, who did a great article on you. You are taking pre-med online courses. What's the future after baseball look like for you?
The future, I'm just hoping to get a good job, provide for myself, but definitely somewhere in the medical field is what I'm feeling. I just feel drawn to it. I don't know if it's from my dad or whatever, but I feel drawn to that, and that's what I hope to be doing in the future.
You don't want to be an educator like Mom? No, Mom does a great job, what she does too, and so does your father. And it's just something special to have two educators and two professions that you can look at either way. All right, hold it. We got a comment here. Of course, now everything takes slow. All right. And Rick Snow just sent me a message. He's proud to be your grandpa. So, all right. Next level after the season, what does the season look like for the cadets and you as far as baseball go in that region? Because now you're adding Wayne County and Burke County, which are really good baseball programs.
Yes, sir. They're really good programs. And just it's going to be a testament to how hard we've been working this offseason, how hard we're going to work through the season. And Coach Farmer's preparation, all the coaches at BC, it's really going to show how much hard work we put in. And I just hope we go out there, have fun, play the game right, and just go for it.
It'd be nice to get another state title, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Last question. Anything you want to say to the BC or the Savannah community now that you're moving on your career after, of course, this final spring season of your baseball career, Benedictine?
Yes, sir. I just want to say thank you. The support has been overwhelming, and the love has been overwhelming. It's crazy, and it's unbelievable. So just thank you.
Well, you've done a great job, Kaden, and, you turned a lot of heads in that playoff game, even though, I knew following you since you started playing baseball, you had it in you. Keep it up and enjoy it. Have fun. It's the last time. And
yes,
once again, congratulations. Great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
And where they say there at the Brotherhood, go Cadets, not Cadets. It's got to be Cadets.
Yes, sir. Go Cadets.
Have a good one.
You too.
Congratulations. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, get ready. Monday, opening day.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Kaden Tuten, straight A student, pre-med courses online. Besides on the field being outstanding, he's also an outstanding student in the classroom. And, I got to send out a big kudos to mom and dad because, they've taught their children how to go about, whether it be an athlete or a student. Just a great job for the Tuten family. And, of course, good friend Rick Snow, Shelly Snow, being, part of that whole situation. All right, next up, we're going to talk a little Georgia football with the WJCL sports director, Amy Zimmer. It's pre-recorded, but you got to watch it. First female sports anchor in Savannah, Georgia. You're going to enjoy it. Stay tuned. She's out there in California with the big guy eating at In-N-Out Burgers. 3 minutes. You'll watch the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network.
All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia, because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why there's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dine-in service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
There we go. You know, I'm playing around with all the buttons here. Welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here live on the Soundgarden Stage at Coach's Corner. You know, it's National Championship weekend, and you got a lot of things going on. Don't forget, Monday night kicks off at 7:30. Wow, I'm grateful. Not a 9 o'clock start, so hopefully I can watch the whole game. But if you want to come out and enjoy the festivities that are going to be here at Coach's Corner, okay, come check it out. Like I said, you got the super screen behind me, 975-inch TVs. The game's going to be here. You got close to over almost 100 TVs in this place. Just pick out your special or your favorite TV, pick out a booth, and enjoy the wings, the burgers, the pizza, and, of course, you know, adult beverages and then, you know, kid beverages. It's all right here at Coach's Corner, and there's no bigger Bulldog fan than the man himself, John Henderson, and the Bulldog Doghouse is still out front, so come out and enjoy it, and you'll have a good time. But I wanted to get this guest on because, you know what? First female sports anchor here, sports director here in Savannah, Georgia. She's been at the job, it'll be a year in February, but she's been to 2 national championships now. Last year at Lucas Oil Stadium with the big guy, Frank Selkowski, and now she gets to go to California at SoFi Stadium. That's where the San Diego Chargers, well, sorry, got to take that back. It's in Inglewood, California. They're the Los Angeles Chargers now. But what an experience. Yeah, you know, she's been doing a great job. She's been here almost 3.5 years. And believe it or not, she was in Palm Beach. Is it Palm Beach in Florida? West Palm Beach is Florida. I don't know. But she was somewhere in there in California, and she saw the SoFi Stadium being built. What great experience to go back there and do it. So now to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs and what's going to happen Monday night, no other than pre-recorded because she had to get on a plane and she's probably sleeping in California somewhere. Okay, that's the WJCL sports director, Amy Zimmer. Here we go. And welcome back, sports fans. It's the coach, Karl DeMasi. Of course, we usually are live on a Saturday morning, and I am live, but this part had to be pre-recorded because we got a big game Monday night. And, of course, my good friends from WJLC, the sports department. Oh, we got to say the news department now because the big guy is no longer in the sports department. He's the morning anchor on their morning show. But anyway, he gets to go out there with this lovely young lady. She's almost a year into her job as the WJCL sports director, first one in Savannah, Georgia. But I had to talk to her. I mean, last year at Lucas Oil, this year at the SoFi Stadium. Hey, she's getting the perks, but she does a great job. And she's joining me on the Coach's Corner hot seat. Once again, Amy Zimmer. What's up, Amy?
Good morning, Coach DeMasi. How's it going?
Hey, you know what? It's going to be an exciting weekend. I'm back at school with the kids. It's you know, I love being with the kids. You know, and the kids are what makes my day for the past 35 years. And but you know, just the whole atmosphere. You know, Georgia in the game again. Just remarkable. And we're going to get to it because you experienced it, and we'll talk about it in a second. But let's kick it off. I wrote it down. February 4th, 2022. You were named the first female sports director here in Savannah, Georgia at WJCL. How's the year been?
I can't even believe it's been a year. By you asking me that, I sit here and I can't even fathom the fact that we are now back to almost that very time where, I was kind of being told about how, Frank was thinking of going to mornings and how they were thinking of me becoming sports director. And it was all just such a whirlwind because it was all happening during this time last year when the Bulldogs were going back to the national championship. So it's pretty special to now know that we're going back to a national championship to cover Georgia. And this time it's, with me as now sports director, but thankfully I still have my partner in crime coming along with me. We're pulling Big Frank out of the news scene and dragging him to LA for some extra help. So it's going to be really special, especially because California is where Frank, essentially, I like to use sport terms, so recruited me from. So now I get to go back there with him and show him the hunting ground. So it'll be really fun.
Nice. Now, 2 quick questions about your sports director responsibilities. Tell us what the difference is of being the sports director versus just being the reporter.
As a reporter, you're leaning on your sports director, wondering what the plan is for the day and what the plan looks like for the week or for the month. And you really just more so are being told, hey, go here, go there, and do a great job. And while you pitch ideas, really, as sports director, you're the one scheduling everything out. You are constantly digging for the stories that not everyone might know about. And so really, I think the biggest transition is now knowing that, I'm calling the shots. I'm deciding what we are covering for the day, what's most important, what's least important, if we can't get to everything. Because as you know, we only have so much time in a day and there's so much talent in our area. It's so hard to get everywhere. And if we can go everywhere, we can only be there for just a few minutes. So really, I think the biggest transition that I've actually really enjoyed is just, trying to become a little bit more organized with creating a really awesome schedule and calendar and just loading that thing up with events. DeMasi, there's so much to do in our market and it's such a blessing and it's been so much fun.
I was told when COVID hit, there was no sports to talk about in Savannah, Georgia. Sports hasn't taken a backseat to anything, COVID or anything. There's always something to talk about sports in Savannah, Georgia, whether it's national, whether it's professional, when it's high school, whether it's the youth leagues. Remember the youth leagues out there in Queens, New York, where you had some fun with a little while ago. But anyway, yeah, so, all right, second question, all right? College football playoff semifinals. The Peach Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I'm telling you right now, in that fourth quarter, 14 points down, but I hung in there. I did not shut the TV off. Michigan just blew me out of the water. Yes, I'm a Jim Harbaugh fan, okay, and I just didn't expect that. But I didn't expect that in the Georgia game, and you told me you had some kind of a wild experience in that fourth quarter. Let's hear about it.
Yes, of course, all media that covers the game, sitting up in the press box. There's multiple different rows. I was in the second row. First row is usually dedicated to print media. So, of course, sitting there watching the game and sitting over them, you can kind of look down and see, how everyone's reacting. And really for them, coming into the fourth quarter, everyone was kind of just slouched back in their chairs, arms crossed. No one's really typing anymore. Everyone had their stories done. The headlines were in. It looked like Georgia was out. And it looked like it was going to be the biggest upset. And then, of course, leave it to Stetson Bennett and his team to pull the ultimate comeback in the fourth quarter. So, as we get minutes in, they score the touchdown, they pull within 5. And the next thing you know, the game's tied, and then it's coming down to a field goal. And I kid you not, everyone was on the edge of their seats. And we all looked around. We're like, this game's really going to be decided when the clock strikes 12. And what a way to ring in the new year, because it happened exactly that way. And everyone jokes, oh, we didn't get to see the ball drop. No, we saw a ball drop, and it was when Ohio State missed their field goal. So it was definitely unique. But as soon as that happened, you saw everyone's screens just go white. Everyone started over. Everyone had to rewrite the story, rewrite the headline. The game was changed in the final minutes, and it came down to the final seconds. And we were all seriously speechless up there. Everyone's reaction was just completely – everyone was stunned. But it was a game I surely will never forget.
Yeah, people giving up and people not thinking it's going to happen. And when the defensive back slipped and they hit that touchdown to make it 5, you knew something special was going to happen. And of course, I mean, I watched the kid play in high school basketball. I coached against him in high school basketball. I didn't do football. Stetson Bennett. That's when Islands High School was playing Pierce County in our region. And you can see on a basketball court, this kid, just the feistiness, the never give up attitude. And you knew it was something special. And, I never really got to talk to him personally, but I'll never forget the image I got him on a basketball court. And, the ongoing joke, because, if you don't know, Amy and I have a good time. Of course, from Michigan, but she wound up going to St. John's University to finish her volleyball career. I call her Miss Johnny. And you know what? In New York, they got to watch the ball drop straight down.
That they did with front row seats in Times Square.
And in Ohio State, they got to watch the ball go left.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, such a great experience. Everybody give it up. Okay. If you're just tuning in, this is pre-recorded because this young lady is going to be out there in California enjoying SoFi Stadium with the big guy. She'll be covering the college football national championship between TCU, the Horned Frogs. My wife goes, "What's a Horned Frog?" I said, "I'll show you a picture." And against Georgia Bulldogs. So she'll be out there having fun there with the big guy, Frank Silkowski. So this is the second year in a row. The tag team of Sikowski and Zimmer. You went to Lucas Oil Stadium last year where Georgia beat Alabama 33-18. Now you're going to SoFi Stadium. It's not in San Diego. It's in Inglewood, California, but we say it's close to San Diego. So, I mean, you're doing something you love. You're covering sports, but you're getting the perks. What's it like going to these national championship games?
It's so much fun. I think one of the best parts of the job is getting to find those stories of the local people that are going to. And there's so many people because on the Georgia team, there's so many ties to Southeast Georgia with players. And so when we get to go to these things, it's a blast. Don't get me wrong. And everyone might think, oh, you got the best seat in the house. You got the best job. But it is a lot of work. The minute we get there, which, by the way, we're traveling across the country Friday morning, we're going to be working up until late Friday night, California time. And also, there's a 3-hour time difference out there. We put in so many hours when we cover events like this, so much so that I'm actually even taking today off just so I can prepare and get a head start before getting out there. Because once we're out there, it is go, go, go. We are not going to be strolling on the beach, taking our time, trying to just, relax. This is going to be full speed ahead. Every minute we are going to be doing something that is going to be related to work. But again, it's so much fun because we already have so many great stories lined up. I mean, we've got, of course, former South Effingham star Austin Blasky going out there. We're going to meet up with his dad out there, who is such a big Bulldog supporter, of course, that has gone viral a few times on social media with all the fun things that he likes to do. So I also got to go one-on-one with Blasky after the Peach Bowl. So we'll be airing that exclusive interview while we're out in California. There's also 2 Savannah cheerleaders still on Georgia's cheerleading team. Of course, for a lot of years, we covered Southern Britt, who was a star cheerleader for the Dogs that reigns from Savannah. Her dad, of course, Danny Britt, the head coach of the Benedictine Cadets football team. So we'll be covering those 2 cheerleaders as well. And then, we can't go without saying the Stetson Bennett ties. Last year, right after the game, I was the first one to actually ask him a question that was local media. So that was huge. And, it's just so great to know, too, that these players, whether they're on the field, off the field, a cheerleader, they're always just so happy to talk to their hometown station because they know how much support that they get from their family and friends. So it's just so nice for them to just pop on and say, hey. And I can't go without saying Nolan Smith as well. He was so much fun. I think you might have saw at Media Day. He took my mic and helped me out. So, while he's not on the field, it's no doubt that he has just still been such a big part of this team and has taken on a massive leadership role, which will only help him when he goes off to the NFL. So
don't forget about Warren Brinson.
Yeah, Brinson, the Savannah native. He also had a good old media takeover as well with our sister station in Atlanta. So that was really fun to see him do it. I'll tell you what, Warren's got quite a future in reporting, I think, at Media Day. He had no problem going around asking the tough questions as well. So he was a lot of fun.
And I know you see to my logo, on his high school football, he doesn't get any notoriety because he's a preferred walk-on, but the kid has hung in there. Chris Brown. You got to look up Chris Brown from Savannah, Georgia. He's a preferred walk-on, but he's being part of this national. I mean, there's another good story for you right there. What does it feel like that
you're behind the scenes. You're the practice player. So, I mean, I'm proud of Chris Brown. The kid was great here at Highlands High School. Very mature, very laid back. But I'm telling you right now, when he gets on a football field, he tries to go out full out. So, yeah, you got a great stories. Okay, 2 questions. I know you got to get out of here. You got another interview coming up. What's it like going out and hanging out with Big Frank at these things?
Big Frank is a character. He's been doing this for decades. He loves covering sports. And while he's now news, he is still always talking and tweeting about sports. That's never going to go away.
Nope.
But, for him, it's been a great lifestyle change for him. And I'm so happy for him that he gets to spend more time with his family. A big thing that he always said was, I've spent so many years covering everyone else's kids, and now it's time for me to spend time with my own. So it's really special. I'm really happy that he's going to take the time to, leave his family and go out to California with me, because again, we'll be out there for a good chunk of days, and it's going to be a grind. But working with Big Frank is always a blast. He brings so much fun and character into stories, and he'll always make you laugh. And you better believe you're going to be seeing some fun content from us. I already have a few things up my sleeve. We're going to be right around the corner from the Santa Monica Pier, and we have some ideas that we want to do out there. And I think we'll definitely have to try to get him on the roller coaster. I think that would be pretty funny. So definitely be on the lookout for him, and I will be pushing the content and hopefully bringing some laughs along with it.
Plus, he's got to get off his low carb diet when you go out there. I mean, he's got to eat the food. That's what he's known for. He's the big guy, and he's also, you can tell him, the coach said this, he's the OG of all reporters now in Savannah, Georgia. So, OG as far as sports reporters, okay? I know a couple of people at the other stations have a couple of years on him, but the big guy's been around for years. All right, quickly, I don't want to keep you long. Your outlook about the game.
Yeah, so listen, it's no doubt Georgia was exposed against Ohio State. They did their research, but they had a month to do so. So we obviously knew going into that it was going to be a showdown and Georgia was going to be tested. And they definitely were. And Kirby Smart, after the game, told us Ohio State probably should have won that, but it was our resiliency that helped us pull through, and we never give up. And so we came out on top. But also, Ohio State blew 2, not just 1, 14-point leads, showing that Georgia really is the better team. So going into this game now, it's a quicker turnaround. They don't have as much time. And I tell you what, Georgia is going to be fired up and hungry to go into this game now and shut down the Horned Frogs. Now, listen. Sonny Dykes, what he has done with TCU is incredible.
Unbelievable.
From a losing season last year to now being in this position, it's unreal. This team is inspired, and they're going to come out playing inspired. They're going to be playing hungry, and they're going to be ready to attack. And speaking of attack, Georgia really struggled against Ohio State's passing attack. There's going to be a lot of things that Georgia has to clean up, and there's going to be players that they have to get back involved, especially, Ladin McConkey. We didn't see much of him, and he was Georgia's leading receiver. So there's a lot of things that are going to have to change going into this game, but that's just like any game during the season. A lot of changes and fixes have to be made, but I think another positive thing for Georgia is that they're going to have some people back that have been dealing with injuries. We saw Darnell Washington leave pretty early in that game against Ohio State, and he is a big man, and they need him out there. And Kirby Smart has already said that we can expect to see him against TCU on Monday. So I think Georgia's going to come out, and I think that they're going to really, give a punch. And I think Georgia's going to win this. I don't think it's going to be as close as it was against Ohio State. So I have the Dogs going back to back.
And you were there.
I was there. Yeah. So it's pretty unbelievable, DeMasi, when you tell me just, the small town girl from Michigan that went on to pursue her college dreams in New York City to then going out to Palm Springs, California for my first job. When I was out there, we covered the Los Angeles Chargers. We were there for the whole transition. They moved to LA when they were just practicing and waiting for, a stadium to be built. I saw SoFi from the ground up starting to be built. But as soon as Frank called me up and convinced me to come to Savannah, I remember flying over that stadium because you fly over it every time you go in and out of LAX. I remember seeing it, but it was not completed. I have not seen this stadium since it's been completed, and it has been my dream to go there and cover a game. So it's really a full circle moment for me to get to go back and now cover the Georgia Bulldogs playing in SoFi Stadium. So I cannot wait.
I know you got to get to another meeting. Even though she's off, she's got to go to another Zoom meeting, okay? So I'm going to say this. You and Big Frank Solkowski, hunker down, young lady, as Larry Munson would say. Hunker down, dogs, and then be ready for it.
appreciate it for taking the time. Always, we always have a lot of fun. We can talk for hours, but I know you got to go. And once again, enjoy it. Make sure the big guy takes care of you. I'll talk to you after you get back.
All right. Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, DeMasi.
See you later, Johnny.
Bye.
See ya. Amy Zimmer, sports director, WJCL. She does a great job. And you know what? Being a sports reporter, being a sports director, being a newscaster, it's just like being a coach or an athletic trainer. You're never home after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes you get done at 1 o'clock in the morning. You got to be up at 9 o'clock in the morning, or you got to drive to Athens. You got to drive to Columbia. I mean, this young lady has done a great job here in Savannah, Georgia, and I appreciate she always takes the time to come on and talk to me about what's going on over there at JCL. And I'm proud to call her a friend. And, you know, even though she's from a little town in Michigan, I still consider her a New Yorker because she knows what the pizza's like. She knows what the bagels are like, and she's going to have a good time out there in California with Frank Slikowski. Once again, Amy Zimmer will be reporting with the big guy, Frank Slikowski, from SoFi Stadium starting Friday night with the College Football National Championship, the Bulldogs against the Horned Frogs, Texas Christian University. I mean, I enjoy watching it, and I did the interview. Just a great job by Amy Zimmer, and you know what her and Frank Slikowski has done with that sports department over there is unbelievable. Of course, Slikowski, Tiffany Green, if you don't know, is now doing college football play-by-play. Started out with Frank Slikowski, WJCL. Then, of course, you had Stephanie Farrat, who would go out there and be involved in the sport. Now she's a teacher over at Richmond Hill High School, and now he's got another good lady. You know, behind every great man is a greater woman. And Frank Slikowski's been that way with his wife at home and, his daughters and now people he works at the station with. I mean, even now, you know, in the morning on his morning show at 4:30 in the morning. So he just does a great job, and they do a great job over at WJCL. Appreciate they take the time to come on and talk about it. All right, up next, we're going to talk high school hoops. There was a big game last night, Beach against Johnson. Johnson was ranked number 2. Beach was ranked number 4. Calvary's ranked number 6. But you know what? Who does his rankings? The man himself. Okay, Kyle Sandy of sandyspiels.com. Check it out. He's up next. It's pre-recorded because he's at some basketball tournament in Atlanta. This kid knows his stuff. We'll be right back because you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. 3 minutes. Got to thank the sponsors.
All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why there's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dine-in service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision. Faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, that comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room. If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And good morning, Savannah and Low Country. Thank you for watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, whether it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or making it a part of your day, or watching a replay. All right. Just so you know, the next guest is also pre-recorded because he's up watching basketball somewhere in the Atlanta area. He'll tell us in the interview, but that's, of course, Kyle Sandy. This young guy has been doing this now for 7 years, following high school basketball in Savannah, Georgia. Yes, he follows Georgia High School State Association teams, boys and girls. And I'm telling you, he doesn't need a piece of paper in front of him. Just like if you ever watched our Wednesday night show with Brandon Bain with Rubbin' and Grubbin', and, it's just something special that these guys know this information. I mean, I got to take my notes. All right. But if you follow the rankings, because you know what? I've said it plenty of times. Savannah, Georgia is a basketball town. And the rankings mean a lot to a lot of people. It shouldn't mean anything to coaches, if you ask me, because I really don't worry about the rankings. What worries about me is making the state playoffs. But as of right now, on sandyspiel.com, SANDYSSPIEL.com, he ranks girls and boys every Sunday after the weekend games are over. Right now, from the Savannah area, last night we had a big one. Johnson took on Beach. Johnson's number 2. This is 3A boys. Beach is number 4, and Calvary is number 6. Well, Beach knocked off the number 2 team, Johnson, last night at Beach High School. I heard it was a packed house. Read the story on the Prep Sports Report with the recaps from Travis Judon, who also now is working for Connect Savannah as their sports reporter. He also does a lot for the Prep Sports Report, does great work. All right, and boys 2A, Windsor Forest is number 8. In Class A Division I, Savannah High is ranked 7th. That's right, Tim Jordan got the Blue Jackets back being ranked. Then in girls in Class A Division II, Woodville Tompkins is number 4 and Bryan County is number 9. Don't forget also, this is outside of what Kyle Sandy does, but he will talk about it. The St. Andrew boys team won their 26th straight game yesterday against Rains High School in Florida. They're playing in the MLK shootout at Andrew Jackson High School in Florida. They'll play today against I think it's Gill High School. I don't know. It's something like that. But they're playing again. They're going for win number 27. They're 12-0 on the season. They're ranked number 1 in the Max Preps rankings. And Memorial Day School, Del Mock, got the Matadors. They come in at number 9 in the ranking. So pretty special that these teams are ranked here in the Savannah, Georgia area. Well, to further ado, to talk about local Southeast basketball is the man himself, the Georgia High School State Association voice of high school basketball, and I call him the guru of high school basketball in Georgia, Kyle Sandy, okay? Just give me 2 seconds to load the video. You gotta love live radio, live internet shows, okay? Where's Kyle Sandy? Okay. I had it loaded, people. Here it is. And here we go. And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, Heard every Saturday live on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, and it's basketball season. We just finished the holiday or pre-holiday, the holiday tournaments that were all over the state. Now we're getting into big-time region play. We got about 6 weeks left to go, and no better way to break this down. But with the man himself, I call him the voice of Georgia high school basketball, girls and boys, Georgia High School State Association. Okay, he covers it immensely. You just ask him names. This guy's got a plethora of knowledge of the kids. It's unbelievable. But we're going into region play. We got a lot of teams that are ranked in his rankings, and a lot of the big-time communication outlets are going with his rankings. But joining me now, as usual, on the Coach's Corner hot seat. He's never on the hot seat, though. The man himself, Kyle Sandy from sandyspiels.com website, all Georgia high school basketball. What's up, boss? How's it going?
Coach, thank you for having me. It's been too long. I hope you're doing well in the Low Country. I love visiting Savannah. I've been there a couple times already. I didn't get to run into you, but I did get to see a lot of good basketball in the Savannah area, and I'm excited to be on with you today.
And just so people know, this is pre-recorded because Saturday morning, this morning, the man's running to another high school basketball tournament. So we figured we'd record it the day before. Yes, I followed you. I saw you were in Savannah, but, being a high school coach, well, still being a high school basketball coach, I had games going on. I couldn't get over to where you were. We were at another venue. We just never crossed paths. But, I got to give you kudos, buddy, because what's this, your 7th year?
Yeah, shoot. 2015, I guess, is when I officially started things. So is that might be 8 years now. I'm terrible with math. I'm okay with basketball, not great with math. But, yeah, it's been a while now.
You're all over the place. You follow this immensely, and you do a great job with the coverage of our kids in the state of Georgia. So I don't know how you do it. Are there 2 Kyle Sandys?
No, it's just me. Just a lot of mileage on my vehicle and a lot of gasoline, a lot of money being spent on that. But no, it's just me, and I just love trying to cover everywhere. It's I'm based up in kind of like the northeast part of the state near Buford. Flowery Branch is where I'm living. But there's great basketball, not just in Metro Atlanta and Gwinnett County. It's all over the place, and I love whenever I get a chance to go down south to Savannah or go to Columbus or go to the northwest Georgia mountains. It's just so fun to cover the entire state. And like you said, not only boys, girls as well.
All right, before we get into the focus, because that's what my show focuses on the Southeast basketball arena down here. So as far as 2022-2023 season goes, anything right now up to this point, all classifications, all teams that has surprised you or had made you scratch your head?
I think everything for the most part's been kind of status quo. When you look at Grovetown on the boys' side, that was a team that was nationally ranked to start the season. They had everybody back from winning their 6A title last year. I think they only lost 3 games a season ago. Super high expectations for that team. And, they loaded up with a national schedule, and they played a lot of good teams in the state of Georgia, and they have not done well. But with that being said, I still think they're a very dangerous team come state tournament time in the 6A boys, just because they have so much talent. They have everybody back, and you would hope that all that tough scheduling they've done in the early part of the season will come back to benefit them. But out of everybody in the state, boys and girls, that is the biggest surprise so far, how many losses Grovetown has had, and not only to just national powers, but, solid programs in Georgia. Jones County's beat them. Tri-Cities has beat them. Buford blew them out of the water. Those are eye-opening results. And once this team gets to full strength, we'll see what happens. They're going to get hot once they get into region play, but that is the biggest surprise for me so far.
Hey, yeah, I know you follow all sports, high school sports. Hey, Danny Britt, 5 tough non-region games.
Yeah.
Wound up getting a championship out of it. He went down and played Christopher Columbus in Miami, Bowles in Jacksonville. The man played a very tough schedule. Wayne County, who also not Wayne County, Ware County, the Gators, who went on to win a state championship. So, you know what? To be the best, you got to beat the best. And that's, I guess, what Grovetown's doing, right?
Yeah, usually that's the game plan, especially when I do my thing. Rankings don't equal rings. That's a t-shirt I got in the shop. It doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. But when I'm looking at rankings, I am much more going to respect the team that has taken their lumps and taken their losses against very good competition instead of a team that's played a cupcake schedule and is undefeated. That means absolutely nothing to me. If you beat all these teams that you're supposed to beat by 20 points, I don't understand how you could consider yourself getting better. I just don't believe in that methodology. I would much rather see a team that's sitting at 4-10 right now, but have played a murderer's row, because I know in the long run, if that means anything, you would have to assume that it's going to help them come state tournament time, that you're battle tested. So yes, I'm always a big fan, a big proponent of scheduling difficulty.
All right. So the reason why I got you, Savannah, Saturday morning at Coach's Corner, which I guess I got to get you to try this place. If you like wings and watching a lot of basketball, there's over, I think, 80 TVs in this place.
Oh, wow.
And you can get any basketball game you want. And John Henderson, the owner, will also get any NH, National Federation, NFHSA games you want also. So, I mean, you could have 30, 40 games on at once if you wanted it, buddy.
Man, that place must be packed out all the time, it sounds like to me. Holy smokes.
All right, Southeast Georgia, okay? It's always a battle in Richmond Hill. They had to do it in football. Now they're doing it in basketball, going into that 7A arena. Tell us what Richmond Hill's going to be up against. They will take on Valdosta tonight, so we'll have an outcome tomorrow.
Yeah, Richmond Hill, they're in that tough region. I see they're in there with Valdosta, a program that's traditionally been very, very strong. I know, especially on the girls' side, they got Essence Cody, who's going to Alabama, an All-American consideration type player that's probably still ranked a 5-star. She's really good. Lowndes on the boys' side and the girls' side as well. But Lowndes is really tough. I got to see Lowndes boys play last month. Got some athleticism for sure. They got some pretty good shooters. Samuel Shoptaw's a really good guard that makes that team go, a sophomore that already has a Division I offer. So Lowndes is going to be really tough on the boys and the girls side in that region. On the girls side for Lowndes, they have a big girl going to Longwood inside, Otefo. I'm not going to Essenblau. I probably just butchered her last name, but she's about 6'2" and is a double threat. And Lowndes has pretty much everybody back from last year's team where they made a nice little run. So that's going to be a very difficult region to come out of. But Richmond Hill, it's all about peaking at the right time. I know the girls have had a pretty good season so far. The boys are starting to pick up as well. You just want to be playing your best basketball at the right time, and it looks like Richmond Hill is starting to round into form when it matters most.
All right, if you're just joining in, you're listening to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on internet on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We're talking high school basketball with the guru, the voice of high school basketball, Kyle Sandy from sandyspiels.com. Check it out. The website's got everything you want to know about Georgia high school, state association basketball, and the man can break down anything. I mean, he just gave me a girl at Lowndes who's going to Alabama. I mean, just off the top of his head. I don't know how he does it. I mean, we'll just throw you the rock, baby, and you do what you do. You know what I mean?
That sounds good.
All right, so let's go to 6A. I mean, on the boys' side, I mean, Brunswick boys, Glen Academy boys, but now, Effingham and South Effingham are thrown in there, Bradwell boys. So what's that region like up to this point so far for the boys and girls of Effingham, South Effingham?
Yeah, especially what you're really thinking about, and we already talked about them already, Grovetown over there in that Augusta area. That's your heavy favorite on the boys' side. Now, I did get to see Effingham County boys play, I think just like actually last week. They lost to Kennesaw Mountain, but they were missing 2 starters. But Keon Wallace is really good. I know he's a high-profile football player, a big-time athlete, a really good player as well. I know his brother graduated last year. But it's just him out there. But he's a really good shooter. He looks the part. He's strong up top. He gets to his spots really well. And when you see a big football player, you think this guy's just going to play smash mouth basketball and get to the rim. No, he's got a really good touch. He can pull up and knock down shots from the 3-point line and the mid-range, like I mentioned. But they got to get Rashad Scott back. He's been missing a few games. He's a very valuable outside shooter for them, and they were missing a post presence as well. So Effingham County, you can always count on them to win 17 or more games every year. They haven't seen super great success in the postseason, but you could always count on them to maybe make it to the Sweet 16, and then, it just depends on the matchups from there. But Effingham County is really good. Brunswick Kamarion, I believe Johnson might be his last name, has had a really good season. I think he just eclipsed 1,000 points in his career. He's always been a really good player. And on the girls' side, you're looking at South Effingham, a team that has been in my top 10 at one point. They're big. They have some big size inside. They got some really good athletes. Kmar Griffin, I believe her name is. I like her on the wing. She really gets after it, can play multiple positions. Laney Dobbs is a good shooter out there. So they can go about 6 or 7 deep. And I saw them beat a Chesty team that's been ranked all season long. And that's 4A. and they just manhandle them with their size inside. So I think South Effingham can cause a lot of problems on the girls' side. And Brunswick, of course, again, when you're talking about a front runner, on the girls' side, I think you have to look at Brunswick, a team that returns pretty much everyone from last year's team when they won about 27 games. Shanae Jackson inside is about 6'3", just a tree. And Shemaiah Flanders is a great athlete, and they got a bunch of other pieces that just play super hard, and they're really starting to figure it out as well. So that's a really good basketball region, boys and girls.
All right, so now let's go to 4A. I mean, New Hampstead boys a little down in talent, but always, I mean, Coach Robinson does a great job over there. They're always feisty. They're always energetic. You throw Burke and Wayne in there with Benedictine Islands, Southeast Bullock. So what about that region? I mean, first of all, the boys, can New Hampstead compete with Burke and Wayne and Benedictine and Islands?
Yeah, I think they can, because I was able to see New Hampstead play, and I really liked what I saw from them. They got a couple long athletes on the wing. They got a really good shooter that can fill it up from deep. I know he's a football player as well. He does a really nice job. Rashawn Truell or something like that. I know I'm sorry with all the names off the top of my head, but he's a big body. I believe he's only a sophomore, but he can really stroke the ball and he can do some damage from the outside. And they got I believe like a left-handed pitcher that plays basketball for them as well. So he helps out a lot. So I do like that New Hampstead team. I think they're really starting to get it going in the right direction. Looking at other teams in that region, Burke County boys are always really tough. The girls program, I think they're slightly down this year, but they always are a team that is, making it into the state tournament. But Burke County, they had a lot of athletes last year on the boys' side. I know they graduated a few, but it seems like they're playing pretty well so far this year. Benedictine, of course, the boys, they're always pretty tough. That's one of those sneaky teams in Savannah. If you catch them on a good night, like they can really hurt you, especially from beyond the 3-point line. I know they got some sophomore firepower on that roster, so they're dangerous. And then Islands. I want to hear about Islands. I know you know this Islands girls team pretty closely. I know they got a pretty good player going to play volleyball at Syracuse, Veronica Searzant. What have you seen from her, Coach? I know you get to see her up close and personal. She's a special talent, isn't she?
I mean, I've told you, I've been doing this a long time. This marks my 39th, 40th year coaching high school basketball, and I did 1 year college girls basketball. But, I've coached anywhere from middle school to high school. This girl has to be one of the best players I ever coached. I mean, she's 6'3". She could play point guard if I had to make a play point guard. I'm trying to take that away from her because last year she did a lot of playing point guard. I mean, she can go down low. She can drive. She can pull up and shoot the J. She can shoot a 3-pointer, but she's not the type of girl that wants to shoot the 3-pointer. She wants to give the ball to her teammate. She's unselfish, and it's just been a pleasure. I mean, she just got her 1,000th rebound last week up at the Carolina Invitational. She also has scored 1,000 points. She's at over 1,300 points now. She's a true athlete, but she can play basketball. But, volleyball is her first love now. And I'm glad I get to coach her one more year. But this girl, I mean, I'm telling you, 6'3", she can handle the ball. She can dribble. She can post up down low. And it's just a pleasure. And I'm not blowing my bubble. But I just wanted to tell you this. I know I sent you the article. Out of 15 games we played this year, she's had 14 double-doubles. And, I mean, she's just a force on the boards. And it's not that she just reaches over everybody. She gets position. So it's just special. The one game we had a defensive battle with Savannah High. I think she had 9 points and 18 rebounds. So she had an off night, but, as far as scoring goes. But, it's just something special. And, I'm glad I get to coach her at least, one more year. I've watched her since she's been a sixth grader over at Coastal Middle School, across the street from Islands High School. So I'm back to where I started back in 1982. I was coaching girls basketball. That's where it all started, JV basketball. So it's a lot of fun getting back to where it all started. So you'd be impressed with her. You need to watch her.
Yeah. I remember I was able to see her in that state playoff game last year. Came down there for the first round against Thomas County Central. And, her stat line was, 24 points, 16 rebounds. It's just the usual ho-hum, like you don't even have to hide it now. Consistency goes a long way with her. And, me being a basketball person, I'm selfishly very jealous that she chose to go the volleyball route because, man, if she continued to play travel ball basketball, like just think of how good. But, man, when you're going Power 5 conference in volleyball, I think she probably made the right decision. But she could have played at a super high level in college playing basketball as well if she wanted.
She's a 6'3" setter too. She's not going to be an outside hitter. She's not going to be a middle hitter. She's going to be a setter. So when you have a girl at 6'3" and she can get the ball any way you want it to, you got to keep her. Okay. All right. Yeah. I know I told you only 15 minutes, but we're already at 15 minutes. But we still got to talk about the black and blue division down here in the Southeast that Region 3 classification 3A, Region 3, Calvary, Johnson Beach. I mean, you can't count out any of the other teams in that region. Long County, I think, and Liberty County. I mean, that's a black and blue division right there on the boys' side.
Yeah, that's great basketball, and I'm very happy I was able to go down for that Joe Green Classic and really see a lot of those teams play. I got to see Beach. I got to see Johnson. Really, Johnson has been in that top 3, top 4 pretty much all season long. Antonio Baker, I mean, since I saw him like 2 summers ago playing with, I think, the Atlanta Celtics South or something like that at Lake Point, I was like, this kid's smooth. And I think that's when he was going into maybe his sophomore season. He didn't, play a huge role. They had the Bowles boys there, so that was where all the offense and everything was running through. But I really thought to myself, this kid shows a lot of talent, and if he continues to trend upward, he's got a chance to be special. And obviously, he's incredibly special. He's just so good at getting to the basket and finishing. That is what his elite skill set is. He does a lot well, but what I think he is best at is getting to the basket, finishing in traffic, finishing through contact. That is a high-level skill. He got a Kennesaw State offer in the offseason, which I was very pleased with and very happy to see that come about. And he should have more offers by now. Whoever is getting him is getting a great player. But that is not just a one-man team over there at Johnson. Joshua Quarterman transferring in, he has been a great help. He's a very smooth guard as well. You got the big guy, Malachi Robinson, is just powerful, but will shoot those 3-pointers. Caden Davis was a great spark off the bench when I saw them beat Hiram in overtime. But all those other teams in that region, Beach is really good. Shamari Huey, I love him. That's another player I think should have tons of offers, whether if he has to go JUCO first or whatever route gets you there, it'll get you there. He's going to end up playing Division I basketball sooner rather than later. He just does so much well. James Leach is such a springy rebounder. He blocks so many shots, gets so many offensive putbacks. That's just such a really good tandem. And then Calvary Day, I know they had a really good run in the state playoffs last year, but you're going from Class A private up to 3A. We're like, well, what do we think is going to happen here? They haven't missed a beat. They've been so tough. They got that size inside. They got a couple 6'10" guys, something like that. Now that always helps out when you got that length now. They got solid guard play. They're doing a really good job. They're a real disruptor in this region. If you're looking for a team to really kind of come out of nowhere and get the job done, it feels like Calvary Day. But one more team I'd be remiss if I didn't mention is Groves. Groves might not have the player-by-player individual talent per se as some of these other schools do, but they play so hard. Coach Kevin does such a phenomenal job of having those guys just digging in, picking you up full court the entire game, relentless. He gets every ounce of talent out of those boys, and such great effort. They run through a brick wall for him. So I'm really impressed with what Groves does, especially when they lost so much from last year's great team. Even though they're sitting at about 7-6 right now, you don't want to see Groves because you're going to have to strap it up because they're going to apply pressure the entire game.
Yeah, they sure are. Once again, we're running a little long here, talking some high school hoops with the man himself, Kyle Sandy from SandySpiel.com. Check it out. Website's all Georgia High School State Association basketball. And I told him only 15 minutes, but we could probably do this for 3 hours. But and we're just talking about the southeast part of Georgia. So all right, Class 2A, Windsor Forest goes down to 2A. You got them ranked number 8 in the boys this week. On the girls' side, we don't have anything from the southeast part of Georgia. Tell us what you feel about Aaron Clark's squad this year.
Yeah, they're tough. I know. Obviously, they lose Deontay Bass, which is a huge loss. But Karan Anderson, back healthy. He's been really good. He's super impressive just with his athleticism. He'll get to the lane and he'll punch a dunk on somebody, and he can score from the outside. And then Larry Pounds is really hitting big shot after big shot for them. So that dynamic duo, they're playing exceptionally well. And they're in a tough classification. That was a classification that had 3 state champions or so that moved all into the same grouping. And here comes Windsor Forest again, just knocking on the door. They're not going to be irrelevant anytime soon. They are always a competitive team, and they're going to be a really tough team to come see during February and March.
All right, let's go down. What's the difference between Class AD1 and Class AD2? What's the difference?
I don't know what the particular difference is, but from what I see, Division I is more so of the private schools, some teams coming down from 2A. And when you see that Division II, it's really mainly all A public schools from last year, with the exception of Green Forest and Christian Heritage and that one region. But, if we're just thinking about how to compare it to last year, think of Division II is more so Class A public schools, all the small schools from last year's classification.
All right, well, you know what? The old ball coach, Tim Jordan, got Savannah High in the paper, got some ink. He's got a lot of young players over there. You got him ranked at number 7. And then, the girls' side, well, Woodville and Savannah High are going to go at it, so they're going to be in the same. Woodville's in and out. So, Coach Lenny Williams does a great job. They're trying to get consistency. On the girls' side, the Woodville girls are in there. So tell us about those 3 teams. Oh, don't forget, Lady Redskins out of Bryan County also.
Yeah, there's good basketball being played. That is a tough little group there when you think about everything. Like you said, Savannah, they got a lot of talent. Makai Joyner is one of those kids that I keep hearing great things about over the offseason. And then you see what they're doing so far this year. They are really going toe-to-toe with some of these other top teams in the area. They're playing great basketball. Bryan County girls, Kaylee Wedlow transferring in from Statesboro has been a godsend. You pair her with Kenzie Stucker, you got a dynamic duo in the backcourt. So Coach Mincy has a lot of talent over there now. They're running up some wins. Woodville Tompkins, like you mentioned on the boys' side with Lenny, they've lost maybe 4 or 5 straight, but they're playing a super tough schedule. And I was talking to you off air before this all started. They might not be in the top 10 right now, but I think they're a top 10 team in that classification. They just have to put together a winning record as far as a week goes, and they'll be right back in there. I think Woodville Tompkins is going to be just fine when push comes to shove, when the state tournament rolls around and region tournament play comes. And then that Woodville Tompkins girls team, I really love that team. Bree Pelote inside is just a paint monster, blocking shots, scoring inside. Sinead Chisholm, I hear, is getting really close to being courted by Division III schools, and NAI schools are really hot after her. Janae Hayward is just a physical, battering ram down there at the wing position. So I really like this Woodville Tompkins team to make a deep run and potentially make it to the Final Four on the girls' side. Good basketball being played in that region.
All right, 2-minute drill. Get into that crystal basketball you got over there. Okay. How do you see the end of the season coming up? We got 6 weeks to go now.
I see a lot of mayhem once we get into the region tournaments. As always, I know this is the one thing I can guarantee: the crystal ball. I don't need it. I don't even need a crystal ball for this. Once we get into March and late February, when the state tournament comes, rip up all my rankings. They go out the window. They mean absolutely nothing. Everything I think I know gets flipped upside down, and I look like a fool for 4 months of doing this or however long it is. I just know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be unpredictable, and there's going to be great basketball being played all across the state of Georgia.
People, don't let him fool you. 4 months, he goes probably 48 out of 52 weeks of just eating high school basketball, whether it's boys or girls. He doesn't do it for 4 months. I mean, with the knowledge that this guy has, he does it all the time. You do a great job. I enjoy your website, your rankings every week. And, rankings are for the fans. And like you said, at the end of the season, when you're talking basketball, you don't know where that ball's going to bounce. So, once again, thanks for finding the time. I'm sorry I kept you 10 minutes over, but once again, give a plug where they can find all the information. Oh, give me one quick tidbit. You've been following it, and I always tease you about it, but St. Andrew's School and that Georgia Independent Athletic Association, and don't forget Memorial Day School now has a couple of kids that are really standing out. They got you looking over there at GIAA, don't they?
No, yeah, you're right, St. Andrews. I peek in every time I see them playing a GHSA school. They're winning, and that is huge. And I feel like they're going to roll their way to a state title. It feels like those Edwards boys, right?
Yep, you got it.
They're tough. They're tough. I got to see them in the offseason. Again, talk about a little quick guard that might not be the tallest, but he's going to find his spots. He's going to knock down shots, and he's going to be a blur in transition. That St. Andrews team, they're legit. They are 100% for real. Mr. DeMasi, you were all over it last year. They are for real.
Zaire Edwards, and he's already committed and got a scholarship. Well, we'll get a scholarship to Augusta State.
That's a pretty good program. That's
yes.
a pretty good program, if I say so. If you're going D2, that's as good as it freaking gets. So, and they could beat many, many, many Division I schools. So that's very impressive.
All right, plug your website where people can find out more information about Sandy Spiel.
Yes, sandyspiel.com. That's SANDYSSPIEL.com. You can find me on Twitter at KyleSandy355. And March 19th, the Sandy Spiel Spring Showcase, an individual player camp, is returning to Gainesville, Georgia at Chestatee High School. We had a lot of girls from Savannah come up and represent. Last year we had Hannah Kale, who's committed to Georgia College, got to play in front of Georgia College. We had the big trio from Woodville Tompkins there. So just another opportunity to be seen in front of college coaches. March 19th, the Sandy Spiel Spring Showcase. You can find more information on that on my website, sandyspiel.com.
I'll find you one day here in Savannah, Georgia. We got to go for some wings.
Yes, please.
Keep up the great work. I'll talk to you before the season's over, Kyle. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Once again, a young man that loves what he does. I'm telling you right now, he just told you it's only 4 months out of the year. Baloney. He goes 24/7, 48 weeks out. He's got to take some time off to spend some time for himself. But he does a great job. Check it out. SandySpiel.com. SANDYS, another S, PIEL.com. Check it out. Showcase coming up in March. Hey, how to kill. I had to play against him twice this year. Unbelievable. Going to Georgia College. So he knows what he's talking about. He's got a lot of information. Got to love the guy for what he does. Young pup that knows his stuff. Got to love it.
Just something special. I mean, 7 years. This man knows a lot about Georgia high school basketball. And I know he's peeking over there at the GIAA with St. Andrews and Memorial Day School. He's, when they can play with the big boys in Georgia high school, you got to take notice. So once again, I got to thank him. He's up. Let me tell you right now, the name of the tournament where he's at. Okay. He's at the Grayson Hoops New Year's Classic tip-off. Grayson High School, Grayson Hoops, okay, New Year's Classic tip-off. So he's up there watching some big teams play. We got some big teams down in Florida at the MLK Shootout. Beach is on their way down after a big win last night against Johnson. And St. Andrews is down there. St. Peter's Gibbs High School, okay? So they'll be down there playing too. All right, 3 minutes, coming back, wrapping this up. Got to thank the sponsors. Once again, Lawrence, we're going to hit that two-hour mark. You're watching. Hold it. We got a comment. Let's see what the comment is here. Let's go over to the comment section. What did I miss? Right here, I got to thank Kaden Tuten's father, Brian Tuten, one of the best trainers I ever had as a high school coach. He was my trainer when I was at Groves High School, as the football coach. He was my athletic trainer, and he also taught health and athletic training there at Groves High School. His mom was a PE teacher also. She coached girls basketball. Great family. And I appreciate that comment. And that's what it's all about, Coach Tuten. It's about the kids. And, of course, he's getting excited. Woot, woot, knocking on the door of 2-hour show. Got to love you, Lawrence Bennett. We'll be right back in 3 minutes because you know it. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network and the Soundgarden Stage. Last TV timeout.
All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why there's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dine-in service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands: Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive, and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And once again, we're at 1 hour and 56 minutes. Lawrence Bennett, the producer in the back wings, loves it when we hit the 2-hour mark, and we're going to do that because I got to wrap it up. And this is 3 steps out the door. Now, I have really never got to what 3 steps out the door is, because I still got stuff to cover from I didn't finish in 3 steps in the door. 3 steps outdoors, where I take 3 videos that I've seen on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I bring it to you, and I want you to look at it. And then I do a Call's Corner, my editorial on something in sports. All right. First of all, I never got to step 2, which is the colleges. Right now, Savannah State men's and women's teams are both in first place in the Eastern Division of the SEAC, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. All right. So today they both will take on Fort Valley State. Ladies will play at 2. Guys will play at 4. Guys are tied for first with Fort Valley State, 5-2 in the conference. All right. That game will start at 4 o'clock. The girls are alone on top at 5-2. They lost to Lane College the other day, 78-75. But, they'll be playing at 2 o'clock today, all at Tiger Arena. All right. SCAD swimming, pretty impressive. They went out on Thursday. Sorry, it was yesterday. Okay, they took on Texas A&M. That's right, the Texas A&M and Georgia Tech in a swim meet. SCAD's an NAI team. They tied for second, okay, with Texas A&M. Georgia Tech won the meet with 182 points. The Bees had 78 points. Texas A&M also had 78 points. From what I understand, Texas A&M, I think, is number 15 in the country in swimming. So pretty impressive. Bowling team hasn't kicked up at SCAD, but they were ranked number 1 in women's NAIA bowling, number 3 in the men's side. All right, so that's colleges. Professional, step 3, professional. Hawks just having a tough time on this road trip. They're 18-21. They're 9th in the Eastern Conference, so they're not in the playoffs. They have to finish in the top 8. They're 2nd in the Southeastern Division, so that's with Miami and the other 2 teams. Last night they took on LeBron out there in LA. They lost 113-114. Trae Young, usual, 32 points. He scored 21 of those in the second half, but they were behind the Lakers big time, like 26 points. LeBron James came back after being injured, 25 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. Russell Westbrook added 18, 11 rebounds. The Lakers were hot last night. They'll take on the Clippers tomorrow night at 9 o'clock in Los Angeles. Football, Falcons pulled out a good one last week. They beat the Arizona Cardinals 21-19 on a end of the game 20-yard field goal by Young-Ho Koo, Georgia Southern great, 21-yard field goal. We're trying to see if Mr. Ritter, the quarterback, the young quarterback, I mean, he was 19 of 26 for 169 yards and no interceptions. He made that drive work with Koo, got the winning field goal. So let's see what happens for next year. I know everybody's talking about, he's not the quarterback of the future. But was something else was special, Saturday night, okay, Georgia beats Ohio State. It's 12 o'clock midnight. And, about an hour later, you got all the post festivities going on. That crew at Mercedes-Benz Stadium had to turn around and have it ready for a 1 o'clock start for the Falcons. Pretty impressive that crew could do that. All right. PGA Golf, Brian Harmon is back playing. He's at the Sedentary Tournament of Champions out there in Hawaii. Oh, tough place to play in Hawaii. Okay. Right now he's tied for 12th at 9 under, 7 strokes off the lead. Colin Morikawa is the leader at 16 under. Gene Sowers is off. They haven't started the Championship Tour. Him and Tim O'Neill, I think, will start January 19th at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship, once again in Hawaii. Tough life to be a pro golfer. All right. Savannah Ghost Pirates, they're back in last place in the Southern Division of the East Coast Hockey League. They're 10-16. They played 5 overtime games and lost 3 of them. They've had leads, I think, in 8 games going into the third period, couldn't hold on. Last night, they were up 2-1 going into last period against first place of the Atlanta Gladiators, wound up losing 5-3. That means they gave up 4 goals in that last period. Tonight, they'll be back at Enmark Arena taking on the South Carolina Stingrays, who are in third place. That's a 7 p.m. Drop. Okay, drop the puck. Don't forget Savannah Bananas. It's getting close. February 17th at West Palm Beach. Okay, West Palm Beach is in Florida. Palm Springs is where the SoFi Stadium is, where Amy Zimmer is. I got it mixed up at the beginning of the show. All right. They'll open up at West Palm Beach February 17th, 18th against, of course, the Party Animals. Their first game in Savannah will be February 25th, and 23rd. Remember, they've added 11 new dates to their world tour. Okay, so check it out. Go to SavannahBananas.com and you can check it out there. All right, so 3 steps out the door. The first one, Johnson Beach last night was a great game. Okay, Beach ranked 4th. Johnson ranked 2nd. Beach won it 64-57. But this was during the holiday Christmas tournament, the Savannah Chatham County Public School High School Christmas tournament. Antonio Baker, senior at Johnson, is all world. And if you love high school basketball, you love a dunk. Watch this dunk by this young man. I take that back. That was the St. Andrews Holiday Classic, okay? The week before was Savannah Chatham County Public School. So that was at the St. Andrews Holiday Classic. Once again, I know it's pretty fuzzy, but a defender. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Antonio Baker, senior at South Sea Johnson High School. I don't know if you follow it. Number 1 mascot in the world is Uga. I just learned this week his real name isn't Uga. It's Q. So he's Uga 10, but his real name is Q. Will not be making the trip to Palm Springs, Inglewood, California at SoFi Stadium because he's 9 years old. And the Seller family, who is from Savannah, said the trip's too much. So this goes out to Uga or Q not going to the national championship. Uga will not be going, so I figured here. You want to see Uga? His name is Q. Okay, will not be making a trip. All right, the next video is 3 minutes long. You got to be excited about Monday night. National Championship, SoFi Stadium, California, 7:30 kickoff. You can come watch it here, Coach's Corner, over 100 TVs. Like I said, the 75-inch TVs behind me, 9 of them. All right, something special. But this is a 3-minute recap of what Georgia had to do to make it to Monday night. I'll be back in 3 minutes.
And we are underway in Atlanta. Pressure up the middle. He'll go down back at the 28-yard line. Smile Munden, the linebacker, shot the gap, came straight down the hash, and sacked Stroud back on the 28. Will throw on his first play. Throws it out to A.D. Mitchell. Get him going early. Moves in the pocket. Slings it over the middle. Caught crossing route. A.D. Mitchell at the 40 of Ohio State. Gets to the boundary and out of bounds. 47-yard try. They kneel down on the 37. Stetson Bennett the holder. Podlesny to kick it. Snap it back. Placement is good. Kick is away, and we'll watch it. And it is no good. Pod misses from 47 yards. Stroud looks to the right, now looks back to the left, bounces, now throws, now directing traffic, throws off one leg towards the end zone, and caught going to the turf. Harrison, touchdown. 7-0, Ohio State leads here in the first quarter. Third down and about 10 coming up for Georgia. Bennett to throw, deep ball to the near side. He's got Blaylock, he adjusts and makes the catch. Second down and 17. We'll throw it out in the left flat. It's caught at the 25 and down to the middle of the field and into the end zone. Touchdown! Kenny McIntosh, he caught it around the numbers, veered back inside the hash, and took it to the house.
Great job by the Georgia offensive line getting downfield to the second level of that Buckeye defense. And then McIntosh, just a foot race into the end zone and had an alley.
Guys, hand it to the tailback, Williams. He plows at left tackle to the goal line and gets across, touchdown. Up high in the pocket, throws an interception. Picked off at the 45 by Ohio State Chambers. We grab at him, pull on his jersey. He avoids it, throws it into the end zone, and touchdown. And Ohio State has taken the largest lead of the season on Georgia now. Edson takes it out of the shotgun. Deep ball down the middle. He's got a man breaking open, and it is caught! 14-yard line, Arian Smith. They tackle him where? Around the 10 or the 11. Handoff, Kendall Milton steps over a man, angles to the right, to the 5, to the 4, to the 3. They try to push him in the end zone. They do! Touchdown!
Huge answer right there by the Dogs.
Bennett, he's going to take this ball and run it into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown! He just ran it to the short side, leaps across right in front of the pylon.
Dogs able to get right back into this football game. And Ohio State answers the call.
Buckeyes back up by double figures. Yanks it deep. Oh, look at Arian Smith. That's going to be a touchdown. He caught it at the 30, 20, 10. They won't catch him. Touchdown! Touchdown! 76 yards! And now they will go for 2. Snap it back to Stett. Here comes pressure. Throw it to McConkey. We got it! 2-point conversion right on the goal line. They hit it. It's a 3-point game, 38-35. Dogs aren't done yet. Everyone on their feet here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Nobody sitting in this one. From the 10, snap it back to Bennett. He looks in the end zone, throws it for the back corner. Caught! Caught! Touchdown! 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 A.D. Mitchell! Back left corner! 54 seconds to go. Oh, my goodness. The game comes down to this. Hold, kick. No! He missed it! Left! It's midnight! Happy New Year! Georgia 42, Ohio State 41.
I mean, if that's not special, I don't know what is. Just unbelievable, unbelievable 3 minutes of my life. Like I told Amy Zimmer, if you watched early, what was going to happen and what was happening. And I didn't walk away like a lot of the sports reporters did it, where she was up there at, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So just had to watch it. I've watched that probably 50 times already. So I had to get it on there. All right. What am I going to talk about? Oh, Monday night, 7:30, right here, Coach's Corner. You can watch the College Football Championship as Georgia takes on Texas Christian University at 7:30 for the national title to be back-to-back national champions, which hasn't been done in a long time. All right, let me get my file here. What is my Carl's Corner, my editorial about? Let me once again get the file. All right, let's go. Where is it? Okay. Come on, Coach. Where did you do it, Coach? You just got to love it. Okay, here it is. All right, let me open it up. Okay, it's uploading. And what has this week been all about? It's been about this young man. And it's been about the country, okay, supporting this young man. Okay, on Monday Night Football, Damar Hamlin took a shot to the chest. Okay, he was making a tackle. Okay, the Cincinnati Bengal wide receiver caught him perfectly with the shoulder in the middle of the chest. He stood up and went down. Cardiac arrest. That's why we have athletic trainers at football games, at sporting events, because you never know when you're going to need it, okay? Hey, Brian Tuten and Ed Livingston over at Benedictine Military School had to deal with the same situation with a ninth grader who went down at practice, and they had to give him CPR, and the ninth grader is fine. Well, you know what? You got to love how the country came together, the NFL making the right decision, not playing that game Monday night. Okay, they're not making that game up, so now they're going to neutral sites for playoffs. But you know what? It was all about Damar Hamlin. Okay, young man out of Pittsburgh University, second-year player for the Buffalo Bills, been starting this year. And, we came together as a country. Everybody had this on their mind. And if you watched Monday night like I did, it was a tough time going to sleep after that happened. I mean, wondering if this kid was going to be all right. They put him in a comatose state. He started breathing on his own. First it was 100% oxygen, then 50% oxygen. It's just something pretty special as a country that we supported this kid, and we went around what happened, and we went around his team, the Buffalo Bills. Head coach did a good job, great job, not coaching. The Cincinnati Bengals coach going along with it. Just the whole thing was great, and it's something that we could say we're proud of, because when the going gets tough, we stick together, and that was all about with Damar Hamlin for the Buffalo Bills. They'll return tomorrow, taking on the New England Patriots. So it's just something that's special, that sports is there to relieve us of life's stresses. But sometimes in sports that happens, okay? And it's not the first time somebody has collapsed in a professional football game, a college football game, a high school football game. But kudos to the Buffalo Bills training staff. Kudos to the Cincinnati hospital that helped this young man get back to where he is, and he's talking. First thing he said, first thing he wrote when he woke up is, "Did we win?" So pretty special. The whole scenario is pretty special. All right, well, that's it for the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We got a lot going on here at Coach's Corner. Hey, today at 12 o'clock, they're going to be celebrating the Benedictine Military School's back-to-back championships like they did last year. John Henderson put it on a little party for the boys, some wings, some food, and they'll watch the championship game on the big screen TV, on the small screen TVs on the side. Not small, 55-inch or bigger. So it'll be a lot of fun here. It'll be championship Saturday right here at Coach's Corner for the Benedictine Military School 2022 state champions. Also, don't forget Monday night. Well, don't forget tomorrow night's NFL football. You want to come watch your favorite team? Any TV you want, just tell the man, John Henderson, tell one of his crew. They'll put it on for you. Then Monday night, 7:30, right here in the Soundgarden, none other than the College Football National Championships, Georgia taking on Texas Christian University. I don't know if John Henderson is going to watch it. If you follow his social media tweet, he walked out in the fourth quarter because he said he was a jinx. He walked out of Mercedes-Benz Stadium and was hanging out on the corner somewhere in Atlanta, Georgia, because he thought he was a jinx. Well, maybe he was, because Georgia came back and won. Are you going to watch the game Monday night, John? Yeah. He might watch half of it. He might watch even a quarter of it. But once again, everybody will be watching here. Come here, celebrate. Great food. Remember, it's all food, all fun, all sports, all music since 1991. Well, Lawrence, there you go, Lawrence. 2 hours and 13 minutes, buddy. Well over that 2-hour mark. All right, and there it is. He's got me down for 2 hours and 16 minutes. Well, like I say, every show, please say a prayer. Once again, for all the people in the Ukraine that have to deal with what Russia's doing to them, please say a prayer for this country, what's going on with this mad, crazy world. Also, thank everybody who was saying a prayer for Damar Hamlin, the Buffalo Bill cornerback that went down with a heart attack, CPR, not once, but 2 or 3 times. For those doctors at that Cincinnati hospital, for the training staff of the Buffalo Bills, and for the coaches in the NFL for doing the right thing. You've been watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report live right here on the Soundgarden Stage for January 7th, 2023. Remember, whatever you're doing today and tomorrow, Always hit it out of the park. And may next week be your best week ever. And once again, Georgia, 41, TCU 21. That's my prediction. Go Bulldogs. Go Dogs one more time. National championship back to back.